Welcome in, trainers. It's me, WD Michael, and in today's YouTube video, I'm going to be giving you the raid builds that I've been using to defeat the 5-star Tera Raid events featuring Chi-Yu. So let's pop into this, get you those builds, and get you ready to knock out those raids. Here we are in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with the first raid build, which is going to be Hisuian Samurott. Now, some of these raid builds that I have, these Pokemon that I have may not be completely optimized. I was doing these raid builds live on stream and then trying to get the raids as quickly as possible. So we were kind of cutting some corners, doing them quick. Just know, you do not have to have a perfect Pokemon in order to defeat these raids. They are fairly easy as long as you have generally the right build or idea of a Pokemon to bring. So, Hisuian Samurott, why do we bring that Pokemon? Well, it's a water and dark type, so it resists a ton of the moves from the Chi-Yu, from the fire and the dark type moves, so that fits perfectly right there. Chi-Yu doesn't exactly have the greatest defense, so having a high attack Pokemon works really, really well. So, Hisuian Samurott has a fantastic attack stat. We get the sharpness ability, so we boost the attacks of our cutting moves. So that's always great. We get the Shell Bell to help get us a little bit of HP recovery when we're doing damage. Now for the moves for this guy, what we have is Rain Dance, which does help because we can cut down some of the damage from the fire type moves. Also boosting some of our water type moves itself. So, I mean, it works. It's not something you necessarily need to have, but it definitely helps. Razor Shell is great. There are some other water type moves that you can use. We were using Razor Shell. It does miss from time to time, which can be a little bit annoying, but the defense drops that it does provide are also really great. So it's a give and take on that one. Swords Dance is cool. I wouldn't sit there and use it until you're +6. It will drop, or the Chi-Yu will drop your stats, so be aware of that. Definitely not anything you have to just sit there and go to +6, then lose all your stats. You're gonna waste time. So don't do that. Maybe use it once, and you'll probably be just fine. Focus Energy is a great thing to do right off the rip. It gives you higher crit strike, and the Chi-Yu can't get rid of your crit strike. So it's one of those kind of free boosts that you just kind of get early on, and then you just keep it with you. So always great to have. But let's go ahead and pop in. We'll select our Samurott, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do it alone. I'm gonna show you the solo kind of. This should be able to easily solo this. Let's get into this one and knock this out with the old Hisuian Samurott. Let's see if we get some good luck and some good teammates for our solo adventure. Who do we get? Not terrible, not terrible. The Garganacl is pretty dope. I like the Garganacl pick. That'll work. All right. We gotta knock him out. Who's he ruinating? He got us. Not ideal. It's not what we want to have happen. How much HP do we get back for that one? A defense drop right off the rip is pretty good. All right, we got a good chunk of our HP back. It shouldn't be too bad. That should be okay. Okay, so we've already got the shield. We should be losing our stats here pretty soon. All right, gonna drop a little Rain Dance, make it a little wet up in here. Remove some of those stat boosts from those heat waves. Give us some boost to our damage. All right, heat wave hit, no burn. Right as I said no burn, it's just slapped us with a just nasty burn. I hate to say this, but we might have to let our Pokemon get knocked out now. That is terrible. Terrible one. I feel like we just need to get him knocked out and then Tera as quickly as possible. Because that burn is going to be the absolute worst. That is the worst case scenario. We got hit with the Ruination and we got burned. I really don't think there's any worse combination we could have hit in this one. So let's see if we can actually knock this out. It's gonna be close. We should be able to Tera right when we get back. Oh, we still got another turn. Okay. Oh, nope, fire burned us down. All right, so we're finally out. The burn is gone. That timer is low. We gotta tear it and start busting out some damage quick. Man. Okay. Tera Razor Shell, right up, just, that's it. Can't waste any time now. We have no more, the time is ticking. Time is majorly ticking. I think we did get one defense drop at the beginning though, so that could honestly help tremendously. Come on, get rid of that shell. Knock it down. Ooh, that was good. That was a massive, massive chunk of damage. Now we're in the money. Doesn't matter to us. We didn't have any. We're good. We're good. Do you want to not crit me with the Dark Pulse like that? That was actually really toxic. You burned me, you crit me, and you hit me with the This Chi-Yu needs to chill. You got a defense drop. We like to see it. I should get a nice chunk of HP back. We should be good. Come on, buddy. Knock him out. Give me that good Razor Shell. There we go. Even with some of the worst luck we could have gotten in that raid, we were still able to knock him out. Yeah, Hisuian Samurott does well, but if you get burned, man, it's just, it makes it so much harder, so much more difficult. The Ruination off the bat also did not help at all, but we were still able to defeat that solo with that build. So, Hisuian Samurott is a check for the Chi-Yu raids. We didn't get hardly anything for that one. Ew. Okay, on to the next one. And with our second build, which I honestly would have to say is probably my favorite because I didn't see a lot of people using Terrakion in these raids, but we're gonna be using Terrakion. I thought it was a really good option. I thought it fit the build really, really well because it does resist a lot of the damage that's actually being brought out by the Chi-Yu, both because it's rock and fighting. So it resists the dark type, fire type damage is gonna be doing a whole lot. So we got checks on that part. It's also a legendary Pokemon, so it's got decent stats. Special defense isn't terrible. Its attack stat is remarkable. I mean, getting up to almost 400 is crazy. So definitely able to take and deal some massive damage to that Chi-Yu. What I thought was really cool is that it does also have the justified ability. So whenever we get hit with dark type moves, we actually gain an attack stat for free. So all those random snarls that pop out that drop our special attack, well, one, we don't really care because we're using physical attack, but it actually boosts our attack set every time. So that was low-key really, really awesome to have. Shell Bell boosts our attack stat, or our recovery ability during the raid. Now for the actual moves that we picked, I chose, again, you generally so easy where you can generally beat them with just one or two moves. So trying to find 4 moves was sometimes a little difficult. So there might be other moves out there that are probably better with Terrakion, but I didn't really need them. Realistically, just having Swords Dance, popping that once or twice randomly throughout it when we're not getting dealt, dealing with the drop of our stats. And then Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Both miss, it's whatever. Just they were moves that I had, put them on there, and I said, all right, we're gonna run it. And it worked out just fine. Sacred Sword was just there. I don't need it. It's just a move. Again, there's probably something better, but that's what we have. So let's get into a Terrakion. We're gonna see if we can't knock this thing out solo and beat up the old Chi-Yu with our quick little rock fighting bro here. I really like Terrakion. I think he does great in here. And like I said, those free attack stats from Justified, they're great. Nothing to be upset about. I take free stat boosts. Alrighty then. Ruination, and it misses. Let's go. You know what? I think I am gonna rock the Sword Dance right off the bat. We're gonna be a little bit risky on this one. Did that Weavile just get absolutely annihilated? Just turn 1 destruction. No burns, no whammies. All right, let's throw out a couple rock slides. Get our Tera up. Come on, hit me with a snarl, man. Flamethrower, not very effective, so it's all good. He stole my Terra, so now we're back at 0. All right, we got our HP back. Doing good, doing good. We got our first justified boost. Let's go. We got one more attack before we can Terra. No burn, no whammies, no whammies. Half HP is rough. All right, we lost our attack stat. Get a little HP back. Not much though. We did get an attack stat though. Oh no, we didn't. Oh, we got rid of our ability for that one turn. No. All right, this should hopefully give us a nice chunk of HP back. If we hit it. If we hit it. Obviously it is Stone Edge, so the chance of us missing are very likely. I think I missed 3 in one raid one day. In a row. Alright, we tagged that one. Massive chunk of damage. Let's go. That should give us a huge chunk of HP too. Alright, we're back to half. Flamethrower rips out. Alright, what do we got for the flamethrower? Still low, not great. Don't like to see that. Weavile missed again. Dude, Weavile's just dodging everything. Alright, the shield is down. The shield is down. We have broken him. How much damage is flamethrower gonna do? I might just heal really quick, to be honest. I don't really want to lose my Terra. That really did not heal up hardly anything. That was brutal. That was brutally low. All right, no ability. All right, we should get a nice chunk of HP back though, at least. Yep. Give me back my HP. There we go. All right, now I'm not so worried anymore. Now we're good. Hopefully. Do we have our ability back yet? We do. All right, we got an attack stat. That's good. Let's try a Stone Edge. We got it. A +1 Stone Edge right now will do us good. All right, we've beaten the timer. I think at this point we can just rock slide. The timer's going down really fast though. I don't like seeing that. Woo! Man, we were cutting that one close. Wasn't the easiest, but we made it happen. Why are you still attacking? We knocked you out, brother. You are down. There we go. All right, Terrakion has beaten the Bluefish. Ability patch and 2 Urbas. Even one of them being a salty. That one. That's what we're talking about. All right, let's get into the last and final build, which will be Azumarill. Here we are with our last Pokemon. It's going to be Azumarill, which honestly I think might just be the easiest one. When we were doing it, it was doing a ton of damage. And that just comes down to the fact that it gets Belly Drum, and Belly Drum boosts your attack up to +6 pretty much immediately. So if you can get it off, you can knock out a huge chunk of damage really, really quickly. So Azumarill was really, really good. We also got Rain Dance, Aqua Ring, Liquidation. All these things to kind of help keep him alive, do that damage we need to as a physical attacker. Now, Azumarill doesn't have the greatest attack stat, but with huge power, it ends up being a lot more. It ends up being a massive powerhouse. So, give it that Shell Bell, and then the immunity to Bolts of Fire and the Dark type moves that Chiyu has. And Azumarill fits the build. So, let's go ahead, pop it out, and get yourself an Azumarill in here. Now, with Azumarill, out of all the builds, Azumarill is probably the easiest one to get, train, and get ready for these, just because you can catch it in game really easily and pretty well knock it out. Obviously, Terrakion is a legendary Pokemon, takes a little bit of work to get. And then also the Hisuian Samurott, if you don't have one, could be a little bit more difficult. So if you're just starting out with the game, Azumarill is absolutely going to be your easiest one. You can catch it in Pokemon Scarlet, Violet, train it, and be an absolute monster in these. So did he really hit me with the... He did hit me with the Ruination. How rude. Let's do an Aqua Ring. And you just hit me with a Dark Pulse right off. You're just absolutely slaughtering me. And you flinched me. Sir, I don't know if I feel okay with this. This feels like you are targeting me. And not in a very nice way at all. You've gotten 3 moves off before I got anything off. That is just, I'm baffled. All right, so we took our Terra Orb charge, so now we're at 0 still. So we're slower than them. Did we get burned too? Because if we got burned, that would just be the ultimate. We didn't. How much does that give us? Not a lot. I don't even know if we can live through this at the moment. We got kind of cooked up at the beginning right there. I mean, that brought us up to half. We might be all right with the heal now. All right, Flamethrower comes out. Shouldn't do a lot. Does more than I thought. I want to get a Rain Dance up, but we're so low. It would have been nice to have gotten up earlier on in the fight to kind of mitigate some of that flamethrower damage and to give our liquidations a little bit more of a boost. But this guy has been on our case ever since we popped up into here. We'll probably end up getting knocked out here. Aqua Ring may not have been the play at that one time. And he crit me? I was ready to say, are you gonna flinch me on that one too? Because I was totally ready for it. At least we crit him back. That works, I guess. Okay, so now he's gotta ruinate someone else. Ruinating somebody else's life. Okay, Snarl. His shield's down. Come on, drop the defense. It's like, do I want a Terra? Do I even want to Terra? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it for all the biscuits. We can get a nice big old liquidation off right now. We can get a nice chunk of HP back. Let's go. Okay, yeah, that was huge. And we're good. We should be all in the money now. It was just that one risky little play right there where we had to make sure we didn't get knocked out. That should pretty well do it for that one. Sucks we didn't get to use the belly drum, but we didn't even need it. Just needed to use liquidate. Honestly, I don't even know if the Aqua Ring did, like, it was all right. Like, I noticed it. It was there. I don't know if it was the reason we lived through that. It might have been. And that should be, unless we get flinched. Nope. That is all she wrote for Chi-Yu. Perfect. So, 3 builds, 3 ways to knock out this raid, depending on what you got in your boxes. But generally, if you don't have anything, you should be able to go and get yourself an Azumarill and be able to knock out this raid. So hopefully these help you out. Hopefully this gets you those last couple of days of Chi-Yu raids, get you some success, get you some Herba Mysticas, because I think we've already gotten 2 just in this video. So they're great. Get all those XP candies, get all those mints, get all that stuff is super helpful when getting ready for the next raids that are going to be possibly coming out, VGC, whatever it is. But get those raids knocked out. Make sure we get that million so we get the shiny blue fish. But again, thank you all so much for coming out to this raid build guide for the Chi-Yu raids. I hope you have a fantastic time out in the Paldea, Kitakami, and the Blueberry Academy. And until next time, trainers, peace out.